What the Business YouTube, episode 33. My name's Jay Florida, and today's career of discussion is a taxidermist. So, what is a taxidermist? A taxidermist is a skilled professional or artisan who preserves, mounts, and displays the skin of dead animals, birds, fish, or reptiles to make them appear lifelike. They combine artistic talent with anatomical knowledge to create displays for museums, educational institutions, private collections, and hunting trophies. Now, to give you a piece of history, taxidermy originated in ancient Egypt around 2200 BC, where early techniques were used to preserve and mummify animals for the afterlife. However, the modern scientific and artistic practice of taxidermy developed in Europe during the 16th to 18th centuries and truly flourished in the 19th century as a method for museum display and home decoration. A few basic requirements to becoming a taxidermist include taking introductory classes and purchasing instructional kits, formal education or an apprenticeship, researching local and federal regulations regarding the possession of game animals, and joining state or national taxidermy associations. All of this can take you anywhere from 6 weeks to 3 years and cost you anywhere from $2,000 to $10,000 or more when considering education, tools, and licensing. As far as your range, as an entry-level taxidermist, you can expect to make $25,000 to $40,000 with a few things affecting how much you take home being employment status, such as shop owner or salary, specialization, such as the types of animals you are able to taxidermy, reputation, and faster turnaround speeds. A day in life as a taxidermist can be described as skinning, cleaning, and building, business management, painting and sculpting, long hours in workshop handling carcasses, and generally smelling. As far as opportunity, there aren't any gates keeping anyone from becoming a taxidermist if they chose to do so, and for that reason, the taxidermist does score green. A few examples to take note of in this field include Jenna Everidge, who is recognized for winning Best in the World for her white-tailed deer at a 2024 World Taxidermy competition. Next, we have Carl Akeley, who is widely recognized as the father of modern taxidermy, having revolutionized the craft in the late 19th century by introducing anatomically accurate artistic posing for museum dioramas. And last but not least, we have Chuck Testa, who gained a large social media following through his Ojai Valley taxidermy viral videos, specializing in lifelike game mounts. Moving on to our fact moment segment of this episode. Starting off with fact number 1. The Lion of Gripsholm Castle is a taxidermy of a lion requested by King Frederick I of Sweden after his death. The taxidermist, who had never seen a lion before, paired with the poorly maintained skin, resulted in a grossly put together recreation. Fact number 2. The white-tailed deer is generally considered the most commonly taxidermied animal, popular due to its high population, widespread hunting, and status as a classic versatile decorative piece. And fact number 3. The oldest known piece of taxidermy in the world is a Nile crocodile hanging in the sanctuary of Our Lady Immaculate Tears in Ponte Nosa, Italy. It is believed to be at least 500 years old, with documentation confirming its existence in the church as of 1534, likely placed there in the 15th or 16th century. And for our last segment, before we move on to the circle of influence, we have health risks and mitigation, starting off with exposure to formaldehyde causing bronchitis, respiratory damage, and is linked to various cancers. Zoonotic diseases such as rabies, Lyme disease, or anthrax as a result of handling and skinning wild animals. Musculoskeletal disorders as a result of prolonged standing and repetitive tasks. And physical injuries from mishandling sharp tools. As far as mitigation, you can use a dedicated strong ventilation system to remove chemical vapors, using PPEs such as respirators, goggles, and nitrile gloves to avoid inhaling dust and chemical fumes, and to prevent skin contact. Avoid eating, drinking, or smoking in the workspace, and regularly cleaning the workspace, especially after tanning, to avoid arsenic dust accumulation. Now that does it for our primary segment. I'm going to go ahead, give the floor to my co-host, let him take over for the Circle of Influence. What the business, YouTube? Starting off the Circle of Influence, we have respect. Is this a career or position that brings me respect and dignity? Now, as a taxidermist, you're either crafting trophies for people to show off or constructing material for others in a related field to study. Either way, respect scores green. Moving on, we have growth. Is this a career or position that presents me with the opportunity to grow from a $100,000 earning threshold? And for this segment, the taxidermist does score yellow, with sources online citing that the taxidermist has the potential to make anywhere from $150,000 to $250,000 in a single year. Next, we have gore. Is this a career or position that will have me dealing with an abundance of blood, violent action, grotesque imagery, or scenery? Now, as described as a taxidermist, you will be skinning animals, dealing with carcasses, and some taxidermists even go as far as catching their own taxidermies. And for that reason, the taxidermist does score red, as in yes, you will be dealing with all of the mentioned before. For our last ideological standpoint, we have moral conflict. Is this a career or position that will have me compromise any of my foreseeable morals? Don't lie, don't cheat, don't steal, and don't kill. The basic set of guidelines. And for this segment, the taxidermist does score green. Now moving on to the statistical side of things, we have gender demographics, where men make up 80% of the industry and women make up 20% of the total industry. Next, we have ethnic demographics, where Caucasians make up 68% of the industry, Hispanics account for 16% of the industry, and Asians make up 6% of the total industry. Last, we have location demographics, top paying states in no particular order, starting off with Washington, followed by the District of Columbia, then Massachusetts, and closing things off with New York and Alaska. Now that does it for the Circle of Influence. I'm gonna go ahead and give the floor back to Florida. I'm back. Just to summarize the taxidermist. In my eyes, it's not a career that a lot of people are eager to take up, which is why this career has such a bright beacon of opportunity. And you are fairly compensated with a comfortable amount of room to grow from that $100,000 earning threshold. As far as investments, it doesn't require as much, especially when compared to other career options, which only adds to reasons why this career is so opportune. With that being said, it does look like we have a full episode today. The word of the day is despise. Self-help resources on the board. As always, I leave it down in the description. And to show your support, if you want to see this kind of content more often, make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys on episode 34.